I've just been sent to the penalty box, and you know what? It's awesome! Brian Watson's Penalty Box is a sports bar that has everything. I can watch my favorite sport from any seat, order tasty appetizers, spectacular sandwiches, and especially Armand's famous deep dish pizza made fresh daily. This is a great place to hang with the gang! And Armand's Penalty Box delivers free. Just give him a call and your order is on its way. Call timeout and face off at the Penalty Box, upstairs at Armand's Chicago Pizzeria in Old Town Alexandria. I love being sent to the Penalty Box!
When it comes to flying from Washington to London, some people are perhaps a little set in their ways. But that's all about to change. Virgin Atlantic Airways, Dulles to Heathrow, starting June 26th. It used to stand for victory. At one time, it meant peace. But now, it simply stands for the best way to London. Virgin Atlantic Airways, coming June 26th. Finally, a better way to London is at hand.
Person needs to send resume to New York. Wants to make a big impression. Goes to post office. Finds out priority mail is a smart solution. Resume gets noticed. Person gets job. Now, if you can only get a cab. Team needs new jerseys. Person has to deliver them overnight. Goes to post office. Finds express mail is a smart solution. Guarantees delivery. Jerseys arrive on time. Person avoids getting the fax.
Sometimes little things say a lot, like this clip that lots of car makers use under the hood to connect components to the body shell. Quick and easy. Toyota uses nuts and bolts welded solidly in place. That's Toyota quality. In cars like Corolla, affordable, dependable, and now an even better value. But you knew that. Toyota, the official vehicle of the well-informed.
We are back at the Civic Arena after one period of play between the Washington Capitals and Pittsburgh Penguins in game number 5 of the Stanley Cup Playoff Series. It's the Penguins, though, with the 1-0 lead on a goal by Mario Lemieux. Dave Johnson back in between the first and the second period, and we went through all their players. And all the...
I was going to say, you finally ran out of wounded Capitals. But...
so you look pretty healthy. And, the only player I think we haven't interviewed, so we thought we'd bring Ken Meese on. Pittsburgh's loss is Washington's gain. Used to work here in Pittsburgh. Of course, we enjoy him now in Washington. You know, in fact, you were the way I knew when the game ended, because that's how you started your report the other night after Game 4. You looked at your watch and said it's 2:17. Yeah. Ever cover anything like that, remotely like that?
Oh, nothing. I mean, I wasn't around for the Montreal Maroons in 1933 and 36, the only 2 games longer than last night. No, I was at the studio in the 1987 Islanders game, right, which is the only thing comparable in my memory. I've never seen anything go beyond 2 overtimes other than those 2 games. Caps making history, if not winning games, right?
Let's talk a little bit about this Pittsburgh Penguins franchise. You used to work here in Pittsburgh, and at one time, early 80s, looked like they were going to leave town, but Mario Lemieux, he really is the franchise.
Oh, no question, Lemieux saved the franchise, and of course they had quite a bit of controversy in 1983 when they only had like 38 points, and everybody was accusing them of tanking them. Of course they were, but they were saying that, you know, they had to see who in their American Hockey League team could play, who in their minor league system could play, but they knew that, I mean, that was all a ruse. It was to finish last and get Mario Lemieux, and of course Kirk Muller was the second choice, but, you know, he saved the franchise. They knew he was the best guy out there for a long time to come, played their cards right, as it were. You know, maybe a little bit on the hairy fringe of cheating, but they got Mario Lemieux, and he indeed saved hockey in Pittsburgh.
Talk about Pittsburgh as a sports town. Steelers still. This is still the Steelers town, but the Penguins probably a close second.
Oh, I think the Penguins maybe have taken over. Well, the last 2 years, the Steeler resurgence, right, it brought them back. But we were talking upstairs tonight, the Pirates, I don't know if they got rained out or not, but it's 50 degrees and sort of rainy out there. But there would be more people here in the Civic Arena at $75 a head than over at Three Rivers for $7.50. I mean, so the Penguins have certainly passed the Pirates at this point and are right up there with the Penguins, or with the Steelers, rather. And if they can, you know, continue to go further in this series, at least they will own the summer, I guess.
Talk about reporting on different events, and certainly Game 4, I mean, they're calling it an epic, a classic, whatever you want to call it, but there really is something, even if it doesn't go 4 overtime, it's about covering playoff hockey that's even different from playoff basketball, their playoff games.
Well, I think, you know, in a case like that, you very, very seldom hit it in basketball. I mean, if you're going to have an overtime, it's 5 minutes. Right. You don't know how it's going to go. In hockey, with that sudden death feature and the way the game goes up and down, I mean, instantaneously it's over. And there is so much on the line for the players of both teams. And especially when you get into the 7th period, and these guys have given so much, there's blood and guts on the ice, their hearts are out there, their emotions are out there, and then bam, in an instant, And, you know, you stop and think about Wednesday night. That was 5 seconds left in the power play and only, 44 seconds left in the period. So if that goal doesn't go in, you know that they're going to waltz through the next 44 seconds, and we're about 3 o'clock in the morning at least till that thing's over.
That's right. We may still be there right now. Kevin Meese, appreciate you stopping by between the first and second period. Always, and we found out he wasn't around for the Montreal Maroons.
No,
Just missed him in 1936. We've got more game coverage coming your way here from the Civic Arena in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. 1-0 is our score. Al Koch and Craig Laughlin rejoin you in just a couple of moments. Stay with us.
Turn a field of dreams into a field of green. When you enter Giant Food and HTS Orioles $1 Million Magic at Giant. If any Oriole hits for the cycle in any HTS O's TV game during the 96 season, you could win $1 million. The entry drawn for each game wins a 27-inch Sony stereo color TV. See entry blank for details. Enter $1 Million Magic at Giant today and turn your field of dreams into a field of green.
So, are you with AT&T?
No,
Oh, how's your long-distance company working out for you?
I'm not happy at all.
Well, what if I gave you some really good reasons to switch to AT&T, including up to 100 free AT&T minutes?
That would be wonderful.
Only AT&T customers can get AT&T True Reach savings.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, spend $25 a month and you save 25% on every type of call on your AT&T phone bill.
It's easy.
It's free. You can call anyone, anywhere in the U.S. And you see your savings on your AT&T phone bill.
I don't have to be a rocket scientist to figure it out.
No, but you do have to be an AT&T customer. Switch now and we'll send you AT&T long-distance certificates good for up to 100 free AT&T minutes. You can use your free minutes to call, well, anybody. So, what are you going to do?
Switch to AT&T.
Good. Then why not give us a call right now?
You didn't ask me what I was going to do.
Okay. Who's the long-distance company for you?
It's hands down AT&T.
That's your true choice, AT&T.
The Orioles ready to play.
Ready for a huge rematch.
Ready to play the Rangers.
Ready to play big against Texas king-size swingers.
I'm ready.
Ready to play large against Ranger Robo-Arms. Get ready for O's and Rangers. Game 2, Saturday afternoon at 1.
On HTS.
It took him 5 games to do it, but Mario Lemieux finally got himself on the score sheet. He picked up the only goal of the first period, and the Penguins take a 1-0 lead over the Washington Capitals after 20 minutes of action in Game 5 of the Eastern Conference Quarterfinal Series here at the Civic Arena in Pittsburgh. Al Koch and Craig Laughlin, as we welcome you back to Capitals playoff hockey here on HCS. It couldn't last forever. Yager finally got on the score sheet in Game 4. Tonight, it was Mario's turn.
Yeah, I think the Capitals gave the Penguins too many opportunities, especially on the power play. You keep giving them the chances, they're going to score, and they're going to get quality opportunities. I thought, on the other hand, the Penguins played very loosey-goosey defensively. The Capitals with ample opportunities to put one away. At the end of that period, a 5-on-3, you've got to make them pay. You've got to put the puck in the net.
Let's take a look at the goal scored by Mario Lemieux. It was quite a scramble. The Caps almost escaped. Both Olaf Kolzig and Jim Johnson did a good job, but you can't deny number 66.
And here's 66 coming in. The poke check by Olaf Kolzig. The shot right here by Nedved, and then the biscuit past Jimmy Johnson into the twine. We're going to look at it one more time. It all happens right here. Just a little flip pass. What more guys collide? 2 Caps, 2 Pens right there. And look at Lemieux coming off the bench. And there's the poke check and the shot by Nedved, saved by Jimmy Johnson. And Aldo, I can't believe it. Jimmy Johnson didn't control the rebound. He couldn't control it. Out to Mario Lemieux, and Mario Lemieux pokes it in his first in the playoffs.
Assisted by Nedved and Yager at age 36. As you saw, Mario Lemieux going 6-all, right, Locker?
Yeah, 6-all, 5-all. Any of those ones, he finds it.
So the Caps will have a little time, 23 seconds to go with the man advantage to start period number 2. They obviously need to get something and get something quickly. Before we talk about that, how did the guys that just got back in the lineup look to you?
I was impressed with them. I thought they brought energy and enthusiasm to the Washington Capitals. You had Jonesy out there running around. You had the Chiefs with a couple of great chances. And Connor Walchuk, what more can you say about him? He leaves his heart on the ice, works every single shift. So I think it's been a big plus for them. And hopefully it's going to carry over into the locker room and in period 2 and 3.
How important are these remaining 23 seconds on the power play?
Well, I think it's important just to establish a setup of the power play. They haven't controlled the puck. They don't feel like they have confidence right now. They've got to get some confidence, set up the power play, get some shots on net, make Reggett make some big stops.
Caps, of course, had to come from behind in the first 2 games in this building, and they did it. Skating away with victories. Let's see what's ahead in period number 2. We'll get to that second period after these messages here on HDS.
With EOS lenses and the Rebel X from Canon. Wouldn't it be nice to really get away? Southwest Airlines makes it easy with new take-along fares. Buy a full unrestricted fare on a non-stop flight just 1 day in advance, and up to 3 more can come along for just $25 each way.
On vacation again?
So make some real plans with Southwest take-along fares.
It starts with fresh baked bread, juicy slices of mouth-watering steak, and the kicker, it's covered with A1 thick and hearty steak sauce, plus all the fresh veggies you want, and it's Subway's new A1 steak and cheese, only $1.99 for a limited time. If you're not hungry yet, check your pulse.
TS ready to play with DC United and Major League Soccer. Oh yeah, outdoor pro soccer rules. The United kicks off against New England Saturday night live at 7:30 on HTS.
HTS coverage of Capitals hockey is brought to you by Geico. One 15-minute call could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Call 1-800-841-3000. And by your friends at Toyota. For quality and value that's simply the best, see your Toyota dealer today. The Capitals outshot the Pittsburgh Penguins 15-13 in the first period. But the first playoff goal this season by Mario Lemieux has given the Penguins the 1-0 lead after 20 minutes of action. Before we get underway with period 2, let's head downstairs and check in once again with our buddy, Dave Johnson.
All right, guys, you were talking about the return of Steve Conowalchuk, Keith Jones, and Craig Berube to the lineup tonight. And from my vantage point at Ice Club, I was really paying a lot of attention to that in the first period. And indeed, it appears that despite the fact they're just coming back from rehabbing their injuries, and Cam Costello with Frank Costello, they appear close to 100%. And as Craig mentioned, Craig Berube with some wonderful scoring opportunities. Now, also, Jim Johnson told us before the game he thought the first 10 minutes of the period were going to be critical. And I really thought the Capitals did a nice job in the first 10 minutes. They had the territorial advantage, although they did concede the goal in the first 10 minutes. On the subject of Jim Johnson, with Joe Ricci out of the lineup, Johnson has really stepped up not only his game, but also his defensive leadership. You see Jim Johnson getting in players' faces, defending the Capitals' front, if you will. And that's the kind of activity they need from players like Jim Johnson at this playoff time, especially with the absence of Joe Ricci from the lineup, because Ricci typically was very much a leader on the blue line for the Washington Capitals. We're getting set for the second period of play of the Civic Arena. We'll send it back upstairs to Alan Craig.
All right, Dave Johnson, thank you very much. Craig, time for our Southwest Airlines game stats.
And there we take a look at the shots on goal. 15-13 Caps scoring chances favoring the Penguins. They're doubling up on the Caps 2-4. Face-offs 1 favors the Caps. I thought Nedved was out-dueled a couple of times, but he did win a couple clean. The power plays, the big goose eggs for both clubs. The Penguins with a couple more minutes on the PP, but the Caps are going to start on the power play as Chris Tamer still in the box for that high-sticking minor against Peter Bondra as the period winded down for the Caps. 24 seconds to work with with the drop of the biscuit.
In that first period, it was Peter Bondra with 3 shots on goal, the most for any player on the ice. We know Mario Lemieux was certainly well heard from with the goal. He had 2 shots. Nedved with a pair of shots. Zubov with a pair of shots as well. And Ken Reggett, perfect in the first period. And when you couple what he did in relief of Tom Barrasso in Game 4, he has now gone 131 minutes and 40 seconds without giving up a goal. That is the longest streak in club playoff history, but Kenny Reggett is going to have to go a lot longer to get an NHL record. The streak belongs to Norm Smith. 248 minutes and 32 seconds with the Detroit Red Wings back in 1936.
I knew that. Norm Smith, huh? Oh, yes. Big Normie Smith.
Maybe he's the Discovery Card trivia question.
Yeah.
We've got Bill Bell, our producer-director, scrambling in the truck. We are underway here in the second period, and Nedved winning the face-off. The Penguins controlling and eating up the remaining second in the Chris Tamer call. Gauthier finds Jim Johnson. He spins away from a Brian Smolinski check. Gauthier now jumps in. Bondra has got it. Quick shot, hits the skate, goes wide. Now the Penguins, though, are going to get another penalty. The Pittsburgh Penguins committed another foul. This will be Daigneault getting whistled down, and his 1 penalty expired. Another begins for the Penguins. The Caps will have more power play time to work as J.J. Daigneault heads into the box.
And it happened right here. Watch to the right of the screen here. The cross-check that Keith Jones banging him into Kenny Reggett. Gary Fraser to the left here. Here comes the arm coming into the screen. But here's the shot. There's J.J. Daigneault. And right there, I mean, Keith Jones didn't get hit that hard, but he fell. He caused a penalty, having a scrum in front of Reggett. Now the Caps open up this period with a power play. Now, boom, right back at it. And I said in between the periods, you've got to score on your power play. They've got 2 minutes to work with and get evened up in this hockey game.
And they have to start controlling face-offs in the Pittsburgh end. We're underway now with the Capital power play. They do not control the face-off, and the Penguins peeling off the cross-checking call to J.J. Daigneault. That came at 28 seconds of this period. Already have taken off some time on the clock. Michael Bobonka now tries to get through the defense. One-hands it off the board. Bondra will play to Jones. Funny, Karam never gets back to Cote. Here come the short-handed Penguins. Zubov working with Yager. Zubov for a shot. And the rebound walks off the boards in front to Kolzig. Must play and leave for Sergei Gonchar. Gonchar with Cote on the blue line. It's Bondra who's got the puck now. Bondra fires behind the net. Michael Bobonka working with Keith Jones in the corner. Jones advances it to Bondra. He's looking for Cote. Doesn't connect there, and it goes all the way back to the Washington zone. Kolzig leaving for Sylvain Cote.
Well, the Pittsburgh Penguins really overloading to one side, and the Capitals get it to the right or left to Reggett. They have 3 guys over there. That's why that pass to the team to Cote was wide open. Bondra had to pass through a maze and just missed that opportunity, but that's something the Caps should be looking for. That's the backdoor play with one of the teams sneaking into the position.
And now Tenardi and Sandstrom get involved right in front of the penalty boxes and right in front of Kerry Fraser. He allows both players to skate away and will remain with a Capital power play at 5-on-4 with 43 seconds remaining in the Daigneault call.
Well, though you just mentioned the Discover Card trivia question. Well, let's head to tonight's playoff trivia question. Who holds the NHL playoff record for the most power play goals scored in a career? Well, you got to think of the big fellas like Gretzky, Lemieux, yeah, guys like that, Reggie Lee.
You're going with that Bill connection.
Yeah, I'll throw him back.
Our producer, Bill Bell, the
back. Absolutely true.
Right, please.
Go down that whole roster.
I'm surprised we haven't had Don Selesky as an answer to a trivia question yet this year. Gonchar fires in. Penguins first to it. Meek will hold it in for Washington. Cross ice to Gonchar. One-timer. Sailing wide. Now Smolinski bodies Pat Peak off the puck. Andrew Burnett comes in. Leads for Juneau. Tries to get it back. Here's Gonchar. Gonchar can't get a clean shot away. Then Reggett falls on the puck. Capitals had a glorious opportunity with Reggett out of position for a moment.
opportunity for Sergei Gonchar. I think Kenny Reggett made that save. He recovered after that deke as Wilkinson's down being going to be looked at by the trainer coming quickly onto the ice. That's to the left of Kenny Reggett. But here's the bouncing puck. You have Burnett going down low, trying to give and go. And watch Gonchar come in here, Al. And that's Reggett. He recovered to make that save as Gonchar went to the forehand. As we get one more look at this, Burnett down as you know, looking for Burnett, and he takes two guys with him. Here's Gonchar going to the forehand and trying to slide it underneath Kenny Reggett. Reggett is hot. He is unbelievable. What a save on Sergei Gonchar.
You see Penguin trainer Skip there talking to Neil Wilkinson, who has not advanced any farther from this position on hands and knees. While we have a break, while they attend to Neil Wilkinson, we want to remind Capital fans that tickets are available for playoff game 6. A rare 3 o'clock start on a Sunday afternoon. Great opportunity to bring the family out and watch the Capitals and Penguins. Ticketmaster will take your call at 202-432-SEAT, or you can stop by any Ticketmaster location like Hex or Kent Hill Record Stores, and the American Express card is always welcome there. Neil Wilkinson heading off the ice directly back into the Pittsburgh dressing room area. 20 seconds remaining in the J.J. Daigneault penalty. Caps with a face-off. Hunter to go against Ronnie Francis. Francis kicks it back to the defense. Kind of Walchuk first to it. Jim Johnson fires. Traffic in front. Reggett may have gotten a piece of that. Now Mike Eagles jumps to the ice, and the Penguins will start back. Here come the Penguins, still shorthanded. Lemieux into the zone. Lemieux still maintains possession. The magic of Mario Lemieux takes it out of the zone to eat up the remaining time. Daigneault out of the box. Lemieux and the Penguins do the job again. Now here is Yager. Yager in, tries to center it. A diving block by Jimmy Johnson. He didn't know where the puck was. Now we're going to get another penalty. This time it's going to be on the Capitals, Dale Hunter. And the Penguins will go to the man advantage with 17-13 left in period 2.
There's the captain, Dale Hunter. He was all over Mario Lemieux. And Mario Lemieux, as you pointed out, I was being spiced on by Dale Hunter. I mean, he was all over him. Hunty gets that flash on Mario Lemieux. Mario Lemieux controlling the puck on the penalty killing unit. He's trying to create something. There's that little hack. There's the second hack. Not really much of a splash, but Dale Hunter's going to get called as Mario gives him a whack. Didn't like those two initial whacks. They weren't really what you would call NHL splashes. They were just little taps on the shoulder, but I mean, that's the second penalty Mario has drawn. One to Eagles, now to Hunter. So the power play for the Pens goes to work.
That's how you say hello in Sarnia. Dale Hunter wouldn't even agree that that's any kind of a splash, but we've seen Gary Fraser call it on both sides. Caps have to know what to expect, and particularly with attention on Mario Lemieux. So Hunter in the box at 2 minutes, 47 seconds of this second period. And the Penguin power play back to work. Nedved a draw, one again. Yager finds Daigneault right at the blue line. This is J.J. Daigneault. He'll fire it, deflects wide as Nedved was going for the tip-in. Now Lemieux on the near board. To Chris Joseph. He finds Daigneault. Nedved and Yager crisscross in front of Colton. Yager back to the blue line to Daigneault. Down low to Lemieux. Quick pass setting up Chris Joseph. Another one-timer blocked by Juno off the stick of Daigneault. Caps unable to clear yet. Tenorti. Some hard work on Nedved. And now it escapes to the blue line. Daigneault swings to Joseph. His one-timer off Kelly Miller. And Miller can't get it out. Daigneault, nice work to keep it at the blue line. Tried to find Lemieux. Miller breaks that up. Now it puts it on the stick of number 66. Lemieux calls for it and misses the net. Finally, the Caps get it out. Juno almost had a break opportunity. He was held up by Daigneault. Daigneault may have gotten away with something there.
I've never seen a power play pass the puck more than this Pittsburgh power play does. In that situation, they were very unsure when they were going to pass and when they were going to shoot, and not too many opportunities on this one for the Penguins. Caps have done a whale of a job keeping the biscuit to the outside, not allowing Mario
seconds remaining in the call for slashing against the Caps' Dale Hunter. Here is Kevin Miller into the zone. In front is Sandstrom, taking off, centering pass, holds it. May have gotten a little piece of that as the rebound went to the corner. Sandstrom will try again, off a skate. Hamer puts it out to Zuboff. What a move by Zuboff, but throws in front where Jimmy Johnson was standing tall. Hunter right out of the box, follows Pabonka in. Gets the drop pass, now a centering pass, and Reagan steers that away, reaches out with the stick to push it off. Jumps into the zone, Konowalchuk fights away from a check. That would have been icing, but Konowalchuk beat Zuboff to it. Cote wheels out of the zone, but Hunter bats it back in. Behind the goal line, Sergei Zuboff gets hooked by Steve Konowalchuk. Fans want to call, none forthcoming. All the way down, Colson shovels it onto the sticks of Eric Sharon. Eric Sharon with his first shift of the second period. England create a turnover and move it back. Keeps it, looking for Glenn Murray. Offside on the play. Now Murray and Sharon exchange some shoves. Konowalchuk steps in. Dan McCourt breaks that up, and we will step aside with the Penguins still in the lead.
Hello from fabulous Plank Road Field, where the Plank Road 10 has just chalked up another impressive win, and our coach, Paul, is ready to give his victory speech. Now this is watered down, and this isn't. Ice House. It's ice brewed, so there's never any watered down taste, just more of what you want in a beer. So remember, winning isn't everything, but Ice House is. Thanks, and enjoy.
It's still back there.
Don't worry, love. You're riding in the world's first sport utility wagon.
I am.
That's right. This here's the all-wheel drive Subaru Outback.
That's great.
You know, it's got more cargo space than a passport.
Uh-huh.
The ground clearance of an Explorer.
Yeah, but...
Oh, and did I mention, it gets much better gas mileage than a Jeep Cherokee.
Outback, you say?
Subaru Outback. World's first sport utility wagon.
Welcome back to Capitals playoff hockey here on HGS. You see how scoring has gone so far in this series. It's not unusual for the Penguins to have the lead after the first period. It's the Caps that have put the pressure on. They've played even in the second. Caps have dominated the third. Unfortunately, the Penguins with the lone goal of the overtime. That's the other night off Peter Nedved's stick. Cap fans, there's still a lot to go. Steve Konowalchuk hits the deck. Big hit by Brian Smolinski puts him down. Now Sergei Gonchar surveys from behind Olaf Kolzig. Gonchar decides to bank it off the boards and down. Race on for it. Daigneault against Peak. Peak holds up Daigneault and gets to it to deny the icing call, and Peak is hurt. Pat Peak is hurt as he beat J.J. Daigneault to it and paid a huge price. The Capital winger down in a heap. Stan Wong being escorted in by linesman Dan McCourt and Capital trainer Stan Wong as Kenny Reckett comes over to take a look.
And here's how it happened now. Pat Peak hustling in on J.J. Daigneault. He gets to the puck, falls first, but you can see that look like his left ankle buckled there along the bottom here. Look at that, right there. Could be even his right ankle, but man, he hit that hard. He was out of control. He exposed himself because he was working so hard to get in there. Wow. That'll be a big blow for the Capitals. Pat Peak.
Unbelievable luck when you talk about the Washington Capitals. They finally get some of their injured players back with Konowalchuk, Jones, and Berube returning to the lineup. And now it looks like they're going to lose Pat Peak. Our linesman Dan McCourt has gone to the Pittsburgh dressing room area and obviously is going to be asking for severe medical attention, possibly a stretcher.
Watch his leg right here.
Oh, my.
Ouch, that's his right ankle. Twisting and bending there. Oh.
It could be the ankle, the knee, a severe blow to the Washington Capitals and their young winger, Pat Peak. We will step aside as the Capitals still attend to their fallen player, Pat Peak. We return after this on HBS.
Want it hot? Look for the dot. The ultimate deep dish hits the spot. Say wow. Time to chow.
cheese so high, it's the ultimate pie.
Get up to 3 toppings on a medium, just $8.99. Any second medium, only $4.99.
So get it now? Just tell us how. Domino's Ultimate Deep Dish Pizza. Hot wow now.
Oh, hot and wow, call Domino's now!
Wouldn't it be nice to really get away? Southwest Airlines makes it easy with new take-along fares. Buy a full unrestricted fare on a non-stop flight just 1 day in advance, and up to 3 more can come along for just $25 each way.
On vacation again?
So make some real plans with Southwest take-along fares.
NHL playoff hockey Eastern quarterfinals at Captain Pitt. The Penguins up 1-0, and here's a race for the icing of the puck here. J.J. Daniel against Pat Peake. Right there, a little bit of a hook, and watch Pat Peake's ankle as he touches the puck. It's going to crumple under the boards there. That right ankle and knee take the brunt of the punishment there. And Al, I've had this discussion with you many, many times. That's one of the reasons I want immediate icing. I don't want to have players to race for the puck and have an injury like this. Why not just blow the puck when the puck crosses the red line and take this out of the game?
I mean, you make a good point, particularly when you see Pat Peake, who is still down on the ice in obvious and severe pain as they wait for a stretcher to come out, apparently. Pat Peake is moving a little bit, and I guess they are hoping that Pat Peake will not need to be lifted off the ice on a stretcher, but apparently that's what they're waiting for as the Pittsburgh dressing room area door is open. On the flip side of that, Craig Laughlin, as sad as it is to see Pat Peake down on any player, regardless of what uniform they're wearing, injured. At the same time, you saw hustle. You saw Pat Peake keep the play alive for Washington. You saw a possibility that the Capitals would not get the icing call. You saw the possibility of the play staying alive, a Capital following up on the play, possibly getting a scoring attempt. Hustle has to also be rewarded in that sense, and it's awful to see Pat Peake hurt because of his hustle. Yet at the same time, it's what you admire of Pat Peake and so many National Hockey League players who give it 100% as Peake did there. So they're bringing Pat Peake to the entrance of the ice that the Pittsburgh Penguins use, and he will then, no doubt, they may have some medical facilities here, but you would also think because of what looked to be such a severe injury that Pat Peake may be taken to a local hospital. One of the things we will say is the Capitals during the postseason bring team doctors with them, so he will be looked at by Washington medical officials.
And now with the break in the play here, let's go back to our Discover Card trivia question. See if we're anywhere around it. Also a guy, how about Chris Conto? When he was with the Kings, also put up big numbers in power plays. Who owns the NHL playoff record for the most power play goals scored in a career? Also Mark Messier. Who else can we think of? Let's take a look. What do you think? Mike Bossy, 35 career playoff power play goals. Not even close.
One of the great snipers of all time.
And see, I forgot the question. I thought it was in a series. Oh, okay. You see, I forgot the initial question.
Well, that's our Discover Card trivia question. We are ready to get underway here, but I would imagine the feeling on the bench in Washington is very, very somber right now. They must focus again on the matters at hand after watching teammate Pat Peake being let off the ice and put onto a stretcher with what appears to be a severe injury. We certainly hope not. Dave Johnson is downstairs. We'll try and get word on the condition of Pat Peake as soon as that's available. 13:50 to go in this second period. Pittsburgh on top in Game 5. Caps turn it back on goal. Deflection attempt by Craig Berube off the Pavonka shot. Now Peter Bondra in the corner. Bondra can't hold it in. Brought out, and here is Lemieux. It's 2-on-1. Lemieux stops. Lemieux in front. Pushed off by Kolzig. The net off its moorings. They're going to say Cote knocked it off. Maybe a delay of game and a Pittsburgh power play ahead.
And Kerry Fraser just signaling. You called it, Al. Sylvain Cote heading off, knocked the net off its moorings as Mario Lemieux had a great opportunity. Time stands still when he does the curl and drag in the middle of the net. And here's Mario. Look at him getting the puck here. That's the way you move it up to the big guy. And watch him come in. Here's the curl and drag. Look at that. Jimmy Johnson falls, and there's the shot. But you can see Cote to the right of the screen, knocking the net off its mooring. So with that penalty, the Penguins go to the power play. Here's that shot by Lemieux. Good opportunity for the Penguins to go up by 2. And it's a delay of game had that been the last minute of play or an overtime, as we saw with the Joey Juneau penalty shot at the US Air Arena. That's what would have happened. But anytime during the game, it's simply a 2-minute minor penalty.
It comes at 6:31. Another one of the key members of the Capital penalty killing crew is in the box at Sylvain Cote, and the Penguin power play back in action. Nedved will work against Juneau for the face-off. Lemieux and Yager up front. Now Ron Francis with his first bit of action on the blue line. Teamed up with J.J. Daniel. Caps win the draw. Juneau doing the job. And here is Mark Tenorti to move out of Washington ice and fire it back down to the Penguin end. So Cote in the box for another power play opportunity for the Penguins. Cap penalty killers have been flawless to this point. But they're playing with fire here as Pittsburgh puts their top scorers out there, 300-plus scores, and another guy in Peter Nedved, who had 99 points during the regular season. J.J. Daniel, a late season addition at the trading deadline, rounds out the 5 players for Pittsburgh. Kelly Miller and Juneau up front, Tenorti and Gonchar back for the Caps. Centering pass, perfectly playing, that was Miller, who clears down. Caps will try and change. They get one guy on. Now Johnson has got to jump off. Finally, Tenorti sees he's being called to the bench, and Jim Johnson replaces Mark Tenorti. Here is Jaromir Jagr. Tries to dump it back. Almost thrown out of the zone by Miller. Finally, the Caps do clear it out. Nedved can't play it. He's trapped at the late offside. Finally, Nedved out of the zone. Gonchar takes advantage and dumps it. 45 seconds left to go in the Sylvain Cote call for delay of game. Lemieux remains on the ice, but Jagr has left. Nedved out also on the Pittsburgh bench. Here's Zubov playing catch with Chris Tamer. Lemieux out there with Smolinski and Kevin Miller. Zubov shot. Dave Kozik. Rebound loose for a moment. Finally cleared to the board. And the Caps, Michael Babanka backhands it out of the zone. Ole Kozik continues his sharp work.
The penalty killers have just been awesome for the Caps. Anytime you don't allow the Pittsburgh power play to penetrate and get quality chances, they're doing a heck of a job. They've really shut down this power play. You can see the Penguins becoming frustrated with their inability to set up the type of plays they want to.
Cote out of the box as Lemieux goes cross-ice. Zubov tried to get it back through to him. Broken off by the Caps. Their penalty killers flawless again. Cote and Tenorti, and that's Tenorti with a high drive. It's gloved down by Reagan. Lemieux almost refuses to leave the ice. He's been out there for 2 minutes plus. Now Lemieux makes his way to the Pittsburgh bench as the Capitals dump it in. Gagnon back to play. Sharon can't hold it in at the blue line. He'll work back to Steve Pops. Steve Pops with his first shift as we're approaching the midway point of period 2. Pops gone for the first time this period. It's Pops and Sharon. Francis makes a move by Sharon. Pops over to help. Francis holds up for a moment. The pass, though, gets out of the zone as Daniel has to play. Caps dodge a bullet there as Ron Francis, the veteran, out there working against the young pairing of Steve Pops and Eric Sharon. Now Thomas Sandstrom and Glenn Murray work. Sharon moves it to the board. Sandstrom pushed in face first by Steve Pops. Keeps his feet, held the puck for a moment. Juneau can't chop it out. Sharon now will steal ahead to Steve Kanawalchuk. He'll backhand it further into Pittsburgh guys. The Caps will change up on the fly. Penguins also get some fresh troops out. Jagr and Nedved return. Here is Jaromir Jagr leaving for Peter Nedved. Crashing the net was Brad Lauer for his first shift. Laroon scores! This may have been tipped going in, but it was Francois Leroux, who has had very little ice time for the Pittsburgh Penguins in Game 4 and as well tonight in Game 5, who put the initial shot towards Ole Kolzig.
Well, they call him Frankie here in Pittsburgh. He's a cult hero. They love this guy. And here's the play by Nedved, just dishing out to Leroux, sneaking in. There's the shot. It might have went off the Capitals forward as he came out and tried to take that shot away. Watch the puck. Here comes the Caps forward. Right there, Todd Krieger. It might have skidded off his body or his stick as we get one more look at there. There it is. But somehow that goes end over end. A knuckleballer off the pipe and in. Francois Leroux has taken the Pittsburgh Penguins to a 2-0 lead here in the second.
It was Lemieux in the first. Now it's Leroux in the second. The Penguins have the advantage at 2-0.
And Al, on that play, the Caps had everything closed off. They collapsed in deep. They helped out their D-man, but they left the defenseman sneaking in, and that's what the Penguins will try to do, and they have that space to operate. That's why Francois Leroux was as open as he was.
Peter Bondra firing a shot that's gloved and held by Ken Reggett. So Leroux with his first of the playoffs. Brad Lauer, another guy who has seen very little ice time, picks up one of the assists. Peter Nedved, the primary assist. That goal for Pittsburgh comes at 10:14 of the second period. And now it looks like we're going to get a capital penalty as they are arguing. It's going to be the chief, Craig Berube, heading to the box, and the Caps now down 2-0 has to face the Pittsburgh power play.
And the chief heading off. Craig Berube got involved every time he's been out there. And he took out Kenny Regan after the whistle. That's how Gary Fraser is calling this penalty. So the chief running through the crease, trying to get Kenny Regan off his game, but he's called by the referee. And the Penguins, you mentioned it, Al. I mean, you're playing with fire. This many power plays for them, it's really going to hurt you in the long run.
So the interference with the goaltender call comes at 10:32. Leroux had scored at 10:14. Pittsburgh's opportunity to blow this game open. The Caps have responded before, as we said, trailing in games. They've come back from 2-0 and 4-1 deficits in Game 1. But this seems to be a different Pittsburgh team, Craig Laughlin. They're playing much better defensively. They're not gambling as much. They will make it extremely difficult to come back from 3-0. 2-0 maybe one thing, but 3-0 could be impossible for the Caps.
What I find hard to believe is this Penguins power play goes to work once again, Al. If Jaromir Jagr's on the ice, he just about plays every power play. He has scored one power play goal, listen to this, in 25 games. That's unheard of. He had 20 during the regular season, but he's only had one in the last 25. That's hard to believe for me.
Well, the Caps hope it's 1 in 26, and they'd like to keep the rest of the Penguins off the board. Their penalty killers have certainly given them a lift. Jagr taking a run at Mark Tenorti. That almost was a huge collision. Tenorti and Jagr have had a lot going with each other in this series. And Jaromir Jagr now on home ice trying to make the Caps big gun on defense pay. 1:20 to go in the Berube call. This is Jagr. Jaromir Jagr leads to Lemieux just a little behind him. Lemieux centering pass. Steered up the slot further by Juno, but not out. Daniel setting up Lemieux. Lemieux centering pass, looking for Jagr, hopped off his skate. Now Daniel works the blue line. J.J. Daniel fires at Kolzig, a sprawling save. Juno tried to chip it by Zubov. Zubov held it in. Daniel at the point. To Lemieux. Mario Lemieux in. Kolzig squeezed the pass to stop that. Now Juno will clear for the Capitals with 35 seconds remaining in the interference call to the goaltender against Berube.
The Capitals are reading perfectly what the Penguins are trying to do on the power play. Right there, Joey Juno knew exactly that Mario Lemieux was going to try to hit in. A sneaking defenseman. He cut that lane off, and sure enough, the puck was right there. Juno able to clear the length of the ice, forcing the Penguins back.
You see the time remaining in the Penguin power play, down to 10 seconds. Johnson. With Kevin Miller on him. Mike Eagles tries to help, sweeps it behind the net. Here's Silvantote to put it on the stick to Babanka, and that does it. Capital penalty killers work again, but the Penguins try and strike back at 5-on-5 as Berube is out of the box and remains on the ice. This is Craig Berube now. He takes a big hit from Chris Tamer, but gets it further down into the Penguin zone. Nedved, long backhand pass up ahead for Thomas Sandstrom. He whacks it behind the Capital cage, quickly advanced to Keith Jones. Here is Keith Jones with his first action of the postseason. To Berube. Berube in front. Loose for a moment. They whack at it. And finally the Penguins control. Roach ahead. Here comes Smolinski. And Kolzig swats it off Smolinski. And he scores.
Man, oh man, that was quick transition by the Pittsburgh Penguins. And Smolinski, what a burst of speed. Blowing past the Capitals. Defenders caught out late in the shift. And Smolinski in on the goaltender Kolzig. Kolzig doesn't make a save. The puck goes under him. And then the luck going the Penguins' way as he does a bank shot. Here's that great speed. Look at the speed on Chiron here, Al. Cuts to the net. Lets it go through the 5-hole. And look at this pass. He just throws it in front. Kolzig doing a spinorama to get up and back in the twine. It hits the back of his leg and redirects into the back of the net. Here it is, right off his leg. A lucky bounce for the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Ryan Smolinski pinballing it in off the pads of Olaf Kolzig has given the Pittsburgh Penguins a 3-0 lead with 6:45 to go in the second period. And the Caps are in trouble now. They should have gotten a big lift off the penalty kill, had pressure in front of Ken Reggett, but the Penguins' speed and their great skill made the Caps pay dearly. They look for more. Yager in. Yager tries to find Zubov, and that was played nicely by Kelly Miller. Now here's Sergei Gonchar with two Penguins back, one of them Francois Leroux. So Smolinski, who also picks up his first of the postseason, Roach the assist at 13:15. Lemieux, Leroux, and Smolinski for the Penguins. They lead it 3-0.
While we had the 85 Camry, we put 3 kids through school, moved twice, and had 3 presidents. 2 since I made the last payment. I figured I was ready for a new one.
When a product far exceeds your expectations, when it's affordable to start with and worth more long after it's paid for, that saves you money. That's real value.
You know, this new one could last 20 years.
Dave Johnson back at the Civic Arena here in Pittsburgh. Second period action through the Caps and Pittsburgh Penguins. We take a look at the Washington Post scoreboard. Second period now, it's the Rangers with a 1-0 lead on the Montreal Canadiens. It was Nicholas Sundstrom with a shorthanded goal, assist to Yari Curry. Also, Winnipeg and Detroit tonight. The Red Wings trying to end that series. That game tied right now at 1 in the second period. We do know that Pat Peake right now is being examined in the Pittsburgh Penguins dressing room, since that was the closest dressing room to where the injury occurred. But anything else at this point would be speculation. They had called for a stretcher. We do know he is being examined. We do not believe he's left the building. We'll send it back upstairs to Alan Craig.
All right, Dave, thank you very much. And Dave Johnson will keep us updated on any further news on the injury to Pat Peake. Right now, this place is rocking as the Penguins getting first goals of series from Lemieux, Leroux, and Smolinski, and taking a 3-0 lead over the Capitals. Washington desperate to get something by Ken Reggett, who remains with an unbelievable shutout string. He has been near flawless since relieving Tom Barrasso to start the second period of Game 4. The Capitals scored on him in the second shot he faced. They haven't gotten anything past him since. Chopped out of the zone by Mario Lemieux. Gonchar has to settle down the bouncing puck. Finds Peter Bondra. He goes ahead to Babanka. It comes out of the zone and brought back in by Mark Tinordi, with Jones and Babanka trapped offside against the Caps.
Oh, you mentioned Mark Tinordi played great defensively. Now you're going to see the D jumping into the play. Great opportunity there with Babanka Bondra out on the ice. You got to move in, help them to overload against the Penguins backcheckers there. Tinordi just got a little bit offside. He would have had a glorious opportunity to put the puck at the net You see his plus minus. That's excellent when you're playing against the top line game in and game out.
And obviously, Craig, the Caps have to open things up a little bit here. They've got to get their defensemen to pinch a little more. And as we see, the Penguins with that skill and speed can counterattack so dangerously. Now getting hit in the face with the puck. Is that Sylvain Cote? Yes, it is. How much more can the Capitals take in terms of injuries?
Well, every bounce is going against the Washington Capitals. That one bounced right off of Sylvain Cote's face. Dan Wong out quickly. That Francois Leroux shot, he was just trying to flip it up to the far winger. There's Coco being helped out. Here's Francois Leroux, that little flip shot right there. Cote in the pivoting mode right there. Didn't see it as it glanced past that stick there. Got caught in the cheek area. As soon as Dan came out, there it is. There's that little mark on that right cheek. Look at that battered face on the beak and that right cheek there, catching that puck off Leroux's stick.
We've got Game 6 coming up at US Air Arena on Sunday afternoon at 3 o'clock, and there are tickets available. We understand, though, they're going fast. You can get them at Ticketmaster, 202-432-SBAT, or any Kent Mill or Hex locations. American Express cards always welcome at Ticketmaster locations. Brunette scores!
What an awesome play. Dale Hunter out there with Brunette. Great work down low. Out hustling the defenseman for the Pittsburgh Penguins. Connor Walchuk also out there. Great work. The Capitals finally established from forechecking. Dale Hunter having a few words to Kenny Regan, saying so long to that shutout streak. And Andrew Brunette, soft hands out. When he received that pass, you knew what he was thinking. His eyes lit right up. Here's his inability to clear the zone. Watch Hunt get it right here to Connor Walchuk right there. Connor Walchuk throws it in front after he kicks it up. And there's Smolinski watching Andrew Brunette feed him to the net. And a nifty move to his backhand. Brunette has got the cat right back in the hockey game.
Oh, what a goal by Andrew Brunette. Great work by Hunter and Connor Walchuk. A new line combination for Jim Schoenfeld. Andrew Brunette's first playoff goal. The first of his young career. One of the Portland call-ups who has been terrific. One of the top rookie scorers in the postseason. Brunette from Konowalchuk and Hunter at 14:51. Craig, we understand that Pat Peake now has been taken to a local Pittsburgh hospital. There is a hospital immediately across the street from the Civic Arena, and we will try and get further word. But Pat Peake taken to the hospital for further medical observation. But the Caps get the goal they needed, giving themselves some life. They still trail the Penguins by 2, with Pittsburgh on top 3-1. But Andrew Brunette provided a spark for Washington. Jim Johnson at the center ice red line. Fires it ahead. It's deflected in by Dale Hunter. Berube giving chase. Berube trying to get a piece of Zubov after he let go of the pass. A pass by Nedved, knocked down by Mike Eagles. Chris Tamer follows on the play. Kolzig leaves it for Mark Tenorti. He finds Craig Berube, chops it off the boards, and up to Mike Eagles. They're going to say a two-line pass. And now a little extra activity as Mike Eagles and Chris Joseph get tangled up. We'll step aside. The Caps on a Brunette goal have gotten on the board.
Same cars, same price, but one of them costs up to 15% less to insure, giving one driver more money toward accessories. Geico, a 15-minute call could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Oh, you're through, Daddy?
You can't do much in 15 minutes, but one 15-minute call to Geico could save you plenty on car insurance. Call us when you're free. Geico, a 15-minute call could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
86, Jane. 87, Becky. Oh, you know, yesterday I went to Safeway. Yeah? I bought $95 worth of groceries. Oh, that's nice. But I only paid $67. Oh, it has to be the Safeway coupon book. It happens every month. Incredible savings. I'd save phenomenal. On stuff I'm already shopping for. All my family favorites. I'd have to be nuts not to use it. The Safeway coupon book. It's too exciting. I'm prime. I'm pumped.
Well, Cap fans, by putting a deposit down now for a 1996-97 ticket plan, you're guaranteed playoff ticket priority for this year. Call the Caps office at 301-336-CAPS right now for more information. 4:14 to play in period 2. Andrew Burnett has got the Washington Capitals on the board. They still trail the Pittsburgh Penguins 3-1. Al Copeland, Craig Laughlin, and Dave Johnson from the Civic Arena in Pittsburgh for Game 5 of the Eastern Conference quarterfinal series between the Caps and Bears. Sergei Gonchar touching up, icing on Pittsburgh. Faceoff will come back down to the right of Kenny Reggett. So the Caps finally end the scoreless run of Ken Reggett. And Sergei Gonchar and company have a little life, and it allows Jim Schoenfeld not to force the issue. He can still remain a defensive-oriented team looking for turnovers, as opposed to a team who has to try and attack to create something. Force guys like Chris Joseph and Mario Lemieux into some transition opportunities.
Oh, for that guy right there, Peter Nedved, he's been a cap killer. Comes out before each game and just shoots pucks on the net. He's got his underwear on underneath his equipment, comes out with his running shoes and just takes shots into the net to work on his stick. Spends a lot of time making sure they're just...
And here they look for more. Quick shot in traffic. And finally coming away with it as Reggett was down and tangled up with one of the Capitals. Here comes Lemieux back the other way. Now Kevin Miller. In front, Nedved fires it wide. It may have deflected over the net. Caps had more activity in front of Ken Reggett, and you can see how quickly the Penguins recover. Here's Lemieux again. Spins away from Eric Sharon, gets knocked down by Keith Jones. Lemieux back up on his skates, now has the puck. Look at that pass to find Zubov. Centering pass, and Kolzig shuts the door there on the tip-in attempt by Tomas Sandstrom. Up ahead to Mike Eagle. Craig, another guy I haven't seen much for the Capitals is Todd Krieger. I haven't seen him since early in the first period. We'll try and get word on him. Smolinski now to Sandstrom. Kolzig makes the save there, and Bondra comes away. Peter Bondra working with Pavanka, but the Penguins have 3 guys back. Still, Pavanka able to center, just missing Bondra. Following up in the play, Tenorti's centering pass through the crease. Here comes Smolinski, the latest goal scorer, dropping for Sandstrom, and Kolzig catches it high. Hook, it's loose, and the Caps clear it. Ola Kolzig is shaken up on the play on a high, quick shot. Caps looking to spring Connor Walchuk, but Gagnon beats Connor Walchuk to it. Icing on the Capitals, Olaf Kolzig looks a little banged up after that flurry by the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Yeah, well, Thomas Sandstrom ripped one off that left wing, caught him high and hard to that left shoulder area. The Pittsburgh Penguins quick in transition. Keith Jones had to play D because Tenorti was caught in deep. And here's Smolinski dropping it to Sandstrom. There's Keith Jones playing D. There's that shot. Kolzig thinks he has it. Look at a loose puck. Right there, covered up before Smolinski can get his stick on it to put it past him.
Craig, while we've got a chance, let's check in downstairs with Dave Johnson, a medical update on Pat Peake.
Well, gentlemen, they have taken Pat Peake just across the street to Allegheny General Memorial Hospital. Injury to his right heel. The reason they took him out of the building, there's not an x-ray machine in the building, so that's why he's been taken across the street for x-rays on the right heel. They kept the skate on to make sure the swelling stayed down. We'll send it back upstairs, Alan Craig.
Well, if it's the right heel, Craig Watson, that may be good news unless it's an Achilles injury. But what we saw could have been ankle or knee. I would think the heel would be a positive sign for Pat Peake. This will be icing if Gonchar touches up, and he does, beating Yager down the ice. Well, the Capitals finally getting one by Kenny Reggett. That ends Reggett's shutout streak at 146 minutes and 31 seconds. Mentioned, we're also still trying to find Todd Krieger. Now Krieger has made it to the ice, so that is good news. Krieger was one of those guys questionable for tonight's game because of the slash he received by Mario Lemieux.
His was very upset at that, too. Wanted to see if Mario Lemieux was going to get suspended. I sort of joked with him, and he says, yeah, but had that been me that did that to somebody, maybe Krieger would have got a game. That was his concern about
Remember the history that the Caps have with Pittsburgh slashes on the back of legs. Sean McEachran hit it to Calle Johansson, knock him out of the playoffs. In fact, it took Calle Johansson months to regain the feeling in his leg because of the nerve damage. The injury report we're getting is, as Dave Johnson mentioned, the x-rays on the right heel of Pat Peake. So hopefully that is some positive news on Pat Peake, that it's a heel injury and not an ankle or a blown-out knee. Jim Johnson, a man who played so brilliantly in Game 4 on the ice, seemingly every other defensive shift, and Jim Johnson, a guy who has certainly made a mark in the National Hockey League with great skating, certainly showed the physical end of his play. He was in Jaromir Jagr's face, anybody who was out there in a Penguin uniform. Now Peter Nedved, who has burned the Capitals 6 goals in these playoffs, including 2 and the game winner in Game 4. Works with Francis and Jagr. Juno brings it in. Here's Krieger. Quick shot, and Reget had to be alert on a screen shot by Todd Krieger off that right wing side.
Good snapshot right there. Got Kenny Reget leading a little bit. Went right at his right pad there. And there's Chris Tamer trying to take out a little frustration there as the Caps drive to the net, following through, looking for any loose pucks. Andrew Burnett also involved out there with Chris Tamer in the physical department. But a good opportunity for Todd Krieger. You mentioned that we haven't seen a whole lot of him right there. Good speed. Breaking in on the wing. Here it is right here. Gonchar up the middle. Look at this little dipsy-doo pass right there by Juno. And then Krieger, the hard shot through a screen. Tamer screening the goaltender Reget. Krieger rips it through his legs. Reget coming up with another save. Caps have thrown 24 shots his way.
Face-off won by the Caps. Steve Pops can't get it by Kevin Miller. And Kevin Miller with the block and the clear for Pittsburgh as we have under a minute to go in this second period. The Penguins outscoring the Capitals 2-1 in the period, 3-1 for the game, with 46.4 seconds remaining in the stanza, and the face-off just over the blue line to the Capital zone. There's a look at Steve Konowalchuk, who probably hasn't logged as much ice time as a 100% healthy Steve Konowalchuk would, but was out there at a critical time helping set up Andrew Brunette for the goal that got the Caps on the board. And another of the returnees, the Chief, Craig Berube, has been involved quite a bit tonight. He works out there on the left side of Michael Pavanka, Bondra on the right wing, Lemieux and Pavanka for the face-off. Won by Mario. Penguins clear the zone, and it's flipped in by Chris Joseph. Here is Sergei Gonchar. Moves to partner Mark Tenorti. Back to Pavanka at center ice. Deep dishes on the wing to Bondra. He fans on the shot attempt. And back come the Pens, 3-on-2. This is Kevin Miller with Smolinski and that man, Mario Lemieux. To Smolinski, off the side of the net. Smolinski centers it, and Kolzig blocks it away. Lemieux throws, and kicked out by Kolzig. Actually, it turned out to be Kevin Miller who was set up on that pretty passing play. The Caps dodge a bullet there. Time expiring in the period. That's going to do it. Another good one for the Penguins, but the Capitals do get on the board thanks to rookie Andrew Brunette. However, they trail the Penguins 3-1 as they go into the locker room for the second intermission. We have got plenty more ahead, intermission activities that will kick off back in our HCS studios in Bethesda, Maryland. It's George Johnson with highlights from other games in the NHL. This is Caps Playoff Hockey on HCS.